First Watch with Sheriff Mark Daniels on KWCD Bisbee Sierra Vista. Hosted by Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
And welcome to your Friday. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
As usual, we're going to start with Cochise County football, and there's some cool things happening in the county this week.
Oh, there truly is. And the signature game for the season, if you want to cap a game, is going to be tonight. Buena, number 10 in the power ranking, sitting at 6-1, taking on Marana, the Marana Tigers, number 1 team in the power rankings for 5A, which is Buena's division. They're going head-to-head tonight up in Marana. Should be a game. Marana, again, number 1 in the power ranking, number 1 team in the state for this division, taking on Buena. And Buena's got a great team. This is their season. We talked about it during preseason. We talked about it throughout the season. So if they can knock off Marana tonight, they're making a signature stamp that, hey, we are legit. So we wish Coach Thomas and the Colts the best of luck tonight. I know they're going to be fired up. They're ready to go. They're the underdog, which is good for Buena to go in there. They have everything to gain and nothing to lose with this team. So good luck to all of them tonight.
And staying along the sports theme, hey, tonight is Major League Baseball. It's Game 1 of the World Series. So we have the Yankees at the Dodgers, and Game 2 is tomorrow night. So it's tonight at 5:08. Tomorrow night, same thing, and then the third game's not till the 28th. But the Yankees haven't had it since 1982, so there's not going to go past a Game 3. They're going to have it.
The Yankees, the Mets, New York always comes up with these baseball teams. They're just amazing. But then look at the Dodgers. Dodgers have spent, I think, more money than any MLB team when it comes to putting talent there, and now that's why they're going back to the World Series. So it should be a great World Series on that one. We'll be calling the game in Tombstone tonight between Tombstone and Bisbee, but we'll be giving updates on that World Series game tonight. Should be a good one.
Please do. Grab your popcorn. Be ready.
All right, we got to ask this. Carol, are you a fan of the what?
The Yankees.
It sounds like it, yeah. She's all excited when she came in this morning. So the Yankees, okay. So if you're a Dodgers fan.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
And last week was the Bisbee 1000.
Yes, had the honor to go down there again and to work with the Service to Herald staff, the Wick family, in regards to kicking off, I'm not sure, 32nd, or it's like so many years of this. And but what a cool event. They had close to, 15,000 participants for the Bisbee 1000. And it's nice. We do start off with a race, Francis Wick and I, myself, and everybody involved. But there's so much energy and excitement. So early in the morning, it's a little chilly out there, let me just say. But it was a great event. So thank you to the Wick family and the Service to Herald, Jennifer, and everybody that put that together.
And also we had the Employee of the Quarter this week.
Yes, we just did it yesterday. We recognized our employees of the quarter. We recognized detention officer of the quarter, sworn officer, which is our deputy, support staff, and volunteer. And who do we have, Carol?
So for our civilian, it was Amber Thompson. She's just amazing.
She is.
We're fortunate to have her with us. Detention officer Sasha Helton. Again, amazing people. The volunteer is Sue Beecher. The sworn side is Jaslyn Luna. Again, all of these people are so dedicated. And you also gave life-saving awards.
Yes.
And so the first one was to Deputy Meeks, second to Deputy Dominy. And they saved a man's life in a bee attack.
They did, and that's a unique call. They got a call of suspicious subject that was running around. Didn't make a lot of sense to his actions. So when the deputies arrived, they did not realize it was a bee attack. So when they went up to the person who was in the fetal position out in the field, when they walked up, then they realized he was covered with bees. He had over 1,000 bee stings. So our deputies immediately grabbed him. Both deputies, Meeks and Dominy, started to pull him out. Our deputies got stung numerous times, but got him out there. Benson PD, two of their officers assisted also in getting him in the car and just getting him out of there. So definitely they saved this man's life. And so we recognize both Deputy Meeks, Deputy Dominy yesterday for their heroic action in saving this man's life.
And we have a couple of other things that were going on. We had a couple of retirements. So we have Deputy Adam Werkheiser, and we have an animal control officer. And their events are coming up today and or this weekend, but a lot of good years of service.
They are. First one is Adam Werkheiser. Adam's worked with us for a little over 20 years. Been steadfast, goes out there, meets and greets the people, serves the public well. We're going to miss him. We are. And he's going to figure out what he wants to do. If he goes to another law enforcement, I had a soda with him yesterday and spent some time with him, and just had a nice catch-up time, but he told me it's surreal. I mean, he's wore this uniform for 20 years, went out every day on a schedule, did what he had to do to protect this community, and now he wakes up tomorrow morning retired. So, yeah, it's surreal. And one thing we're pushing real hard is to make sure that even though he walk out the door today at 5 o'clock, like he will, he's still part of our family. His name will be embraced in our wall of fame that we have in our lobby, our main lobby, but also more important is the ability to know that we're here and those resources will never change as an alumni from the Sheriff's Office. So, Adam, good luck to you and your family, and we'll be thinking about you. We're going to miss you, my friend. The other one is Augusta Wiedemann. She's one of our animal control officers. We're going to put her into a volunteer status where she will, if she chooses to come back, she's a valuable employee. I mean, she cares about animals. She's got a lot of passion. So, but she's taken it's for personal reasons to raise her kids.
Yeah.
But she told me, she goes, because it's so expensive for childcare. It really, that's what it boils down to. And so I told her, I said, well, let's put you as a volunteer. That way, if something changes, we can get you back in. It's a lot easier to process. So we were going to do that for her. But again, Augusta, thank you for all you've done for the Sheriff's Office. In fact, I have a breakfast with her this morning. The team and I are going to take her to breakfast.
And speaking of loving animals, we have a pretty cool goat story.
Yeah, Billy the goat. You saw it on our Facebook, and I mean, this goat, it's, every time we find an animal, I guess the neighborhood's been chasing this goat for a long time, but it got from Hereford Road area. We're talking up on the Sierra Vista side, all the way to Bisbee. And this is kind of an ornery goat. I'm not saying that in a mean way, but he's like kind of pretty much independent. This is my way, and he's not afraid to charge at you. And
No.
so he got all the way to Bisbee, bypassed every coyote, every feral animal that wanted to eat him. But he got down there, and that's how he became in contact with us, and now we have him in a safeguard or rescue. But, Carol, what are we going to do? We got some donations for him, or do we have a place to put him as adoption?
So he's actually being housed at a rescue. Our ranch
Good.
patrol did a great job rounding him up. I guess that's what they do. So they were able to get him, and he is in a rescue right now. The information that they have initially is that his owner passed away. So now we have to determine if there's a next of kin who wants this little booger. And if they don't, then I don't know what they're going to do with him. I would imagine that they would try to place him with a home. But when we put the story out there, several people said that they wanted him. Now, okay, I don't know how many of you think that you can cook a goat for Thanksgiving, but if you get him, please don't make that an option. But you might want to, because he's so obnoxious. So there you go. If he gets to a point where we can't identify anyone who actually claims ownership, there's no bond for getting him out of custody. So you can make sure that pay attention to our Facebook page, and we'll put that out there.
Well, he's very set in his ways, what I've been told. And but again, I'm just glad he's safe. I'm glad that there are people that want him, and not for a meal, of course, but that want him for whatever they're going to do, a pet, whatever they're going to do with this goat. He's very, very independent from what I've been told. And to make it that far through the desert,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a pretty courageous little goat there. And I got to tell you another animal story that was unique this week. So one of my sergeants and I are coming through the intersection of Foothills and 92, and some of you listening this morning might remember this, because so we come through the intersection, and so we're coming through, there's a car pulling at the same time as us. It's like, what's this car doing? It was a pickup truck. It pulls in the middle of the intersection at like 7:30 in the morning. We know how busy Foothills and 92 is. Stops in the middle of the intersection, gets out of his car, and he's running around his car. So I did a U-turn, went back into the intersection, and I could see him running around with his hands flaring and flailing and everything, and I see him verbalizing. I'm like, what is he doing? So I turned my lights on so he wouldn't get hit. Plus his car's blocking all the traffic, and he had all 4 lanes blocked. All 4. He couldn't go anywhere. So I got out of the car, and I could hear him yelling, and almost to the point of hysteria. And so I said, sir, what's wrong? What's wrong? As I'm saying that, here comes this. Like, remember Spokane Bandit, that old dog, what was that dog they had? I can't remember.
Oh, the hound dog?
The hound dog. The hound dog, yeah. So here comes right through the intersection, and his name was Bo. And he's like, I can't get Bo. I can't get Bo. So I said, well, you got to calm down. I'm not calming down. We got to get Bo. So we spent about 5-10 minutes getting Bo. And I want to thank everybody out there for your patience, because we had a couple cars almost hit Bo. And but he ended up tackling Bo. I mean, literally, he tackled Bo. It was like a beautiful, beautiful football tackle, got Bo. And so one of the CSOs from Sierra Vista, their volunteers, my sergeant and I actually got Bo, put him back in the truck, and this gentleman, was an elderly gentleman, was trying to catch his breath, and we cleared up the intersection. But it just shows you the care people have for animals. And I didn't. My sergeant and I watched this one car came through, and Bo came back out into the intersection. I'm thinking, oh no. But the good Lord had Bo's that day because he was taking care of them. Let me tell you. So Bo's back home. He was taking him to the vet for something reason and stuff. But what an interesting. You never know what you're going to see in this job.
The Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride is coming up 1 week from tomorrow, and the tickets are still available, and we're going to be giving away some really cool prizes, some money to some charities, and of course there's going to be raffles. Tell us about the charity ride.
Well, yeah, and I want to start off with our charity ride and thank Ed Morse Automotive and Berg's Enterprises. First of all, they're our partners in this. They make it happen for us. They help us with our expenses. So the dollars we collect through the charity ride, from you coming out participating to include our community sponsors, all goes directly to the causes. And so again, this year we're going to have a couple on the show today with us, but Just Kids Inc., Cochise Serving Veterans, Benson Douglas Shop with a Cop, Hero Paws, and Wilcox Quarterback Club, which helps all the sports in Wilcox. You'll hear some of that today. But we're so excited. Then we got raffles, and the raffles are all about $500 and above. But come on out there a week from tomorrow for our, is it 12th, is it? Is it 12th annual?
12th annual.
I believe it's 12th this year. And it's a great event. Bring your side-by-sides, your motorcycles, off-road vehicles, and you can bring your classic cars this year. If you want to just go for a cruise, whether you go Tombstone and stuff. We have maps that you can follow, but it should be a fun event. So hopefully I'll see a lot of people here a week from Saturday.
And you can get your tickets at cochise.az.gov/sheriff. That's cochise.az.gov/sheriff.
And there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. So there's a car show. The Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Jesus Davidson, is putting that on as one of the main organizers. And it's going to be in Douglas tomorrow. The proceeds from it, because they're going to have food, they're going to have the cars out there, are going to go with Shop with a Cop and Boulder Crest. And that helps mental health for first responders and others.
It is. I want to give a shout out to Sergeant Davison. He's doing so much community outreach for the Douglas area, that region that he works out. And that's one of my cultural expectations, is the fact that we'll take our folks that work in the Sheriff's Office, that we integrate throughout the community. We're part of the community. We work for the community, and he's done a fabulous job of doing that. And it's raising awareness and trust within that community with the Sheriff's Office and law enforcement, but also it's raising community funds to help causes like Boulder Crest. It does amazing work to help us. They've been a recipient of our charity ride in the past, and again, this will help them out a little bit.
And there's also, at Valley View School, Palominas Fire Department is organizing a trunk or treat, and that'll be tomorrow from 5 o'clock until 7 o'clock. So if you have your little kids, go down to Palominas. It's supposed to have a lot of public safety presence there and others who just want to interact with kids in a safe environment. It
is. Trunk or treats have become the new norm, and we got Halloween next week, and we'll just hit on it now for a safety message. I mean, there's so many safety things, and the traditional wear bright colors, stay on lit areas, all that stuff. I'm not going to get into all that, but I will say is know where your kids are at. That's the biggest thing. And the other thing I'd say, the most important thing, is know where your kids go, what doors. If there's not a light on, don't go to the door. I mean, just know where your kids are at. I can't say that enough. And this is a great community. It's a special community. Overall, the people are here watching each other's back. So, but we just don't need one incident out there. So enjoy Halloween, though. And then Halloween night, they're going to have a trunk or treat in Douglas, and that's a huge one that people go to all the time. So again, the Sheriff's Office will be there. We have our staff that are going to be in a booth of, I think the theme this year is like Scooby-Doo. That's right. They're going to have the Mystery Machine. The Mystery Machine. Yes. Yes. So it's going to be an amazing time. If you just go over there, have your kids dress up, and just, again, go into a safe environment, get tons of candy. And I want to thank, again, that's Sergeant Davison, Veronica Daniel, all those, Celine Yarborough, our business manager, all that put that together. You've been part of that, Carol. So many people, Alejandro, everybody comes together. And they give out tons of candy. And it's all donated candy, first of all. So I don't look at the sheriff's vinyl, but it's all donated candy. And thank you for those that help us buy the candy so we can give to the kiddos. And that's a huge event for Trunk or Treat. The Boys and Girls Club of Sierra Vista had their dinner this week. They did, and it's a nice dinner. It brings the community together. It was packed. It was up at TMAC up on Fort Huachuca. But let me just say this: they recognized an organization and also the alumni of the year, and that was Jay. Jay's the executive director over there. We all know Jay. He's been on the show numerous times here, and Jay takes care of our kiddos. They go to the Boys and Girls Club, and kind of a unique story. Back in the day when I was president of Boys and Girls Club, when they brought me on, it was in pretty bad shape, and we had to do a lot of changes at the leadership level. And I remember I got some community members there with me, former board members, Midge and Kathy from Ace and Helen Manry, all came together and said, hey, let's put this back together. Well, I remember we were within 2 weeks of closing the doors at Boys and Girls Club. Boys and Girls Club is community funded. It really is. Everybody thinks all this money comes in from national. It doesn't. Believe it or not, it's based on what the community supports, just like the one in Bisbee, and they have an amazing club down there too. I remember the Boys and Girls Club. I had to sign off on a check for $6,500, or approve a check for $6,500 to pay the national. Now think about this: we're days of closing our doors. That's how bad the club got. And I remember when we were looking for our executive director, I remember Jay was top of our list. But I remember the regional leadership from Boys and Girls Club called me, no, that ain't going to work. We need to have this person or somebody like this. And I said, listen, I just paid you $6,500 just to keep your name on our door as we're getting closed that door. Let the community decide who we pick. And that community decided to pick Jay. And Jay has done a fabulous job ever since. So I want to give a big shout out to Jay and all his team over at the Boys and Girls Club for taking care of our kids. I mean, they do it very well. And the other organization they recognized, that was the Fraternal Order Police Lodge 28 for the Cars for Kids. So I accepted on their behalf an award Saturday night for them. And again, it just goes back to Boys and Girls. It's community based. And if you're looking, if you have some extra money, say, hey, what can I donate to? Don't forget your Boys and Girls Club.
And busyness all throughout this week too. Speaker Mike Johnson came to Cochise County, and he was here with Representative Juan Ciscomani, and they ended up at Doc's Watering Hole doing a community event.
They did, and it's an honor. I mean, I got called last week about, hey, would you welcome the speaker and also Juan Ciscomani, our congressman, and be part of that. And so the Mayor McCall and I got to do that. We met him at the airport, brought him over to Doc's Watering Hole, and I remember, I can tell you a funny story on this one. So we're up on the second floor, and the people are all coming in to get ready to listen to the speaker talk and Congressman Ciscomani. And I was talking to the mayor and the police chief, Chris Heiser, and I was telling him, it's really nice. All the visitors we've had here to come see Cochise County, share our community, share our realities, whether it be border or whatever. And I made a comment and said, to have this ability to sit and talk one-on-one with the speaker. We had Kevin McCarthy, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And one of the Secret Service guys is standing there. He goes, I speak to him every day. Just inserting himself. And I'm not saying this in a mean way toward the Secret Service. And I look back at the mayor and Chris. I go, it's always that one guy in a bar. It's always that one guy in a bar, because we were at Doc's Watering Hole. But it was just like, really? But it was an honor to be able to have him, host him. Thank you to Congressman Ciscomani and his team, and thank you to Speaker Johnson. I mean, just down-to-earth guy. I was really impressed. So, and thank you for all those that came out, just listen to what he had to say and support his visit.
And Monday is the grand opening of the Border Operations Center.
Yeah, a long time coming. We've talked about it in this show numerous times. So Monday at 9:30, we are going to have the ribbon cutting and official opening of our Border Operations Center, which deals with state, local, and federal, one of a kind in the country here in Cochise County, but deals with everything from money crimes, financial crimes, with illicit money by the cartels and those that are doing illegal, like drug dealing, all the way from human trafficking, human smuggling, our camera operation room. I mean, it's an amazing center. Up to 100 people work in that center, but state, local, and federal, doing what the public expects them to do, and that is identify those that are violating our laws, also that are violating people. Let's just face it. I mean, the ones pushing drugs, fentanyl in our communities, we're going after them full force. I don't think there's anybody in the country that's doing what we're doing here when it comes to it. I'm not saying we're the best or anything like that, but I am saying we're doing something right here, and I'm so proud to be part of that. So I know the governor's coming down. Governor Ducey hopefully can get here. Attorney General's coming down, and our VIPs from all over the community will be there to embrace this moment, because it's something special we've done here. So thank you for all those coming on Monday.
And there was an unfortunate incident in Bisbee earlier this week where a motorcyclist lost his life, and the sheriff's office is doing the investigation because it involved a Bisbee police officer as well, their department, as they were attempting to make a traffic stop on this. So it's just unfortunate, and we're thinking about the families of everybody that was impacted with this.
Well, let me say, I know the family personally, and I know DJ, the one that passed in this crash, and DJ, we're going to miss you, man. He's just a big-hearted guy. I'll just say that. And to the Schroeder family, I mean, God bless them all. This has got to be a horrific time in their life, so our prayers are with them. I know there was some comments of confusion on Facebook how this happened. Well, I understand that, and I respect that. And there was. Not every crime scene comes logical. And we're putting all the pieces back together on this to figure out exactly what happened with the officer involved in this, what happened with DJ, the driver of the motorcycle. We're putting it all back together for the family's sake, the officer's sake, and just so we all know what happened. So, and this takes time. And I talked to my team this week on this. They're working their butts off to make sure this is done right. But there's a lot of forensic involved in this. There's a lot of things we're doing with the motorcycle, patrol car, the things that we have to put those pieces. So it's like a big Lego set at the end. It all clicks together. So be patient with us on that. I know what you're saying about the confusion. But when you're confused, so are we. We got to put it in a logical sense, and that's what we're doing now.
And we often talk about pursuits on this show, but this time the stop of the week involves a pursuit.
It does. Early in the week, I was coming through one of the residential neighborhoods when I saw a vehicle coming at me very fast. And I activated the radar, and the vehicle was going 61 miles an hour in a residential neighborhood. Well, we know that's way too fast. So, and this was a van, so I spin on it, and the vehicle continues. Once they see me, most people slow down the brakes. They're burning out brake lights when they see me, especially when you're doing that excessive speed. This vehicle chose not to do that. And with everything we're going on when it comes to our pursuits, when it comes to our smuggling, that's an indicator. Here we go. I get in behind the vehicle, catch up to the vehicle, get in behind it, hit the lights. The vehicle ignores my emergency lights. I hit the siren, and they continue to ignore my siren and take off. So I called for assistance. We had our helicopter up. It was out doing another mission and had that in respond. I had a sergeant that was right in the area, that was right behind me. So we chased this vehicle through the neighborhood, and the vehicle ends up going into an unknown named drive and ends up stopping at a house. The driver gets out. It's a female, and she gets out of the vehicle, and she comes back, and she opens up the car door of this van, and the child, you can hear this little child screaming. And I looked at her and said, "Why did you not stop for me?" And she made the comment to me. She goes, "I'm late. The mom is yelling at me of the child, and that's more important than you, and stopping for you." And I see a lot of things in my 40 years, but I'm thinking, I got this little 7, she's about 7 years old, plus or minus. My heart went out for her. She was so scared, and there's a little boy in the car too. So I told the sergeant, take care of the kids. And I said, "Ma'am, I need you to step back here." I said, "I'm not going to place you in cuffs right now because of the children. I mean, they've been traumatized enough." A lady had come out of the house. I asked her, "Can you take the kids inside?" We ended up charging the driver for a failure to stop for an emergency vehicle and criminal speed. And it just amazes me how she'd not conform or even want to comply with anything we were doing. And I even told her, I said, "You're not going to jail because I don't want to traumatize these kids." And I won't say the response in the air here, but it wasn't like, "I'm sorry, Sheriff." I can tell you that much right now. At the end, though, and this is our culture, and I want to share this. At the end, my sergeant, we got 2 little teddy bears and a couple of sheriff stars, and went in, and before we left, knocked on the door, and we presented the little kids with that, just so they know we're not the bad guy here. We're not the bad guy. In fact, we're trying to address something that was dangerous in a residential neighborhood. But I remember my deputy said to me, he goes, "Sheriff, she needs to go to jail." And he's exactly right. In normal situations, she would have gone to jail. But sometimes you get away bigger than just her. She'll have her day in court. But again, that's a unique one I wanted to share with everybody this morning. If you see those lights, stop. And I had never stopped just yesterday on a vehicle. If we turn emergency lights on to stop you, or they're just going to try to get by you, pull to the right. Don't pull into traffic and then through traffic to the left. This is on 92, so you can imagine. Pull to the right and stop. And I made sure I addressed that too with her. because it makes it really dangerous for us. And when you go out of cycle like that, number one, the law says you got to do it, but number two is we wonder what you're doing. Are you trying to avoid us, trying to elude us? Either way, pull to the right and stop and make it safe for everybody.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today, and invite everybody out to Cochise County football one more time.
Tonight we're going to be in Tombstone where the Yellow Jackets are taking on the Bisbee Pumas tonight. Pre-game 6:30 for Chris and I, kickoff at 7. And also, keep Boyne in mind, they're taking on the number one team in the state, the Marana, tonight, so wishing them well. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Sheriff. And Carol, who do we have coming in next? One of the recipients from the charity ride?
Yes, we do.
All right, that's coming up next on First Watch, KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Justine Decote from Cochise Serving Vets. Thanks for coming in and talking to us about what you do.
Anytime.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what is Cochise Serving Veterans.
So Cochise Serving Veterans, we've been in the community since 2013. We've evolved since we first started, but long story short is we are available for veterans and their families to provide resources. We do that through the collaboration with other organizations within Cochise County. And our goal is to provide them those resources so that they can be self-sufficient and take care of what they need. And the hope is that we can enhance their lives and make it the life that they deserve. There pretty much isn't any resource or assistance that we haven't been able to provide either through Cochise Serving Veterans, or, as we know, it takes a village in close collaboration with all the other organizations within Cochise County.
Well, let's talk about some of the services and programs.
So our biggest program is called the Veteran Assistance Program, and that is in collaboration with 4 other organizations. So we standardized our intake form so that between the 5 of us, we take the resources and the services that we're each very familiar with. And so with that, we are able to create a full package of what the resources that the veterans might need. And that could be housing, employment, their disability claims. We get a lot just making sure that that we're working those upstream type services or issues that veterans and their families might come into that then potentially could lead into either homelessness or suicide. So we're really trying to focus on those upstream pieces. And again, there hasn't been anything that we haven't been able to find a resource within Cochise County to be able to help that veteran and their family.
And Cochise Serving Veterans is one of the recipients of the Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride this year. So that's one way you can help them, is just by getting a ticket to the charity ride. But how else can the community help you?
So we have our Veterans Resource Center is located at Suite 14 at Landmark Plaza. So we are always looking for volunteers. We have a stand down if anybody was there last week. So we have that, and we do several of those throughout the year within other communities, not just Sierra Vista. And that's a big thing, is even though we're located in Sierra Vista, we are supporting all of Cochise County. So the biggest way that the community can support us is, one, either volunteers, or if you are an organization that can assist veterans and their families. You don't necessarily have to be a veteran service organization, but you have the ability to assist veterans. Please reach out so that we can create that collaboration and that partnership, so that we know if we find a veteran or their family that is in that situation, we know what organization that we can send them to and know that they'll get the support they need.
So if a veteran would like to use your services, or if a community member wants to reach out and help, give us some contact information.
So csvchair@gmail.com is our main email address. We also have CochiseVets.org, which is our website, and there is a QR code for a contact form that goes straight to our organization, and then we will reach out to either set up an appointment or on Tuesday evenings, all day Wednesday, and Thursday evenings, there is somebody at our Veterans Resource Center at Landmark Plaza, and there's also a QR code on that door in case one of us isn't there, and we can go ahead and set up an appointment for you to come in and meet the team and figure out how we can assist.
And you'll be receiving funds from the Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride, which is 1 week from tomorrow.
Absolutely. Very excited.
It's going to be cool, yeah. So if anybody would like to get their tickets, they're available right now. They're online. You can go to cochise.az.gov/sheriff. That's cochise.az.gov/sheriff. And Jeeps, side-by-sides, motorcycle, classic cars, whatever you want to put into the race. Plus there's raffles afterwards that each item is worth about $500 or more. So it's going to be a good day, a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie with the Sheriff's Office, and you'll be helping Cochise serving veterans. Well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today and telling us about your organization.
Well, we really appreciate the opportunity to do this and to support Cochise County, the Sheriff's Office, and then being able to see familiar faces out there at this event, and then hopefully being able to meet some new faces and work those collaborations. And if there are any veterans that or family members that either need support or just want to come out and meet the team and see what we do, absolutely looking forward to it.
Well, thank you for everything that you do in our community.
Thank you.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
I got this. Jody from the Wilcox Quarterback Club.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
Wilcox Quarterback Club.
So the Wilcox Quarterback Club is a 501c3 organization that helps students in the Wilcox area and all athletes. We help high school sports, middle school sports, Little League, pretty much any youth sports in the community. We help them with whatever they need, uniforms, tournament fees, equipment, pretty much anything they need.
You guys are going to be the recipients of money from the Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride this year. How are you going to use that money, and what is this going to be benefiting?
That money will be benefiting all of our kids, depending on what they need. Sometimes our teams need new uniforms, they need equipment. Last year we helped our Little League World Series girls. We helped them get to, North Carolina and everywhere that they went and played. It just depends, whatever those kids need. We also give out scholarships to football players or anybody that's part of the football team, which includes managers and such. Last year we gave out $8,000 in scholarships.
The charity ride is one way to help the Wilcox Quarterback Club. You can help them by getting your tickets today. But what are some other ways that the community can help you?
So every year annually we have two fundraisers. We have our big one, which is our annual dinner dance. It has live auctions, silent auctions. We have a band afterward, a great meal provided for us. And then we also have a golf tournament. Or we also sell the sponsor signs on the back of the football field. We sell those as well to raise funds.
So if people want to find out more information about the Wilcox Quarterback Club or they want to help you out, how can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of us through our Facebook page, or they can give any one of us a call as well, any one of our board members. My phone number is 520-253-0208. Then contact me that way as well.
Well, congratulations on being a recipient of the Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride.
Thank you so very much, and we'd like to thank the Cochise County Sheriff's Department for their generosity and, being able to provide this for us and for these kids in this community is a great thing to see everybody out there.
And you can get your tickets right now by going to the website cochise.az.gov/sheriff and pick up your tickets. That's www.cochise.az.gov/sheriff. Well, we thank you for talking to us today, and thank you for what you do in our community.
Thank you for having us, and have a great day.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Keep up to date. Follow the Cochise County Sheriff's Office on Facebook and tune in next Friday, 7 a.m. for First Watch right here on KWCD.